The words hit the room like a thunderclap. "I love you, you idiot!" For a single suspended moment, the conference room stopped breathing. 20 pairs of eyes froze mid-blink, darting between Mia Donovan, our unshakable, razor-sharp marketing director, and me, Ethan Brooks, the single dad who could analyze consumer behavior down to decimal points, but somehow remained catastrophically blind to his own life. That moment didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of 3 years of grief, survival, missed signals, and a woman who had quietly loved a man who didn't believe he was lovable anymore. 3 years earlier, I was drowning. Not in water, but in exhaustion, guilt, and a grief so heavy it felt like it rewired my brain. Mornings were the worst. Chaos lived in our small house. "Daddy, we're going to be late again." My 7-year-old daughter, Emma, stood by the door in her school uniform. Backpack already on, watching me spiral. I was searching for my car keys while trying to button my shirt and gulp down lukewarm coffee at the same time. "I know, sweetie. I know." The keys weren't in the bowl by the door. Not in my jacket. Not on the counter. Not even in the refrigerator, which I checked because sleep deprivation does strange things to a person. Emma sighed, the way only a child who has grown up too fast can sigh. "They're in your hand, Daddy." I looked down. There they were, clenched in my white-knuckled grip the entire time. Right. Of course they were. This was my life after Caroline died. One moment, we were planning a beach weekend. The next, a brain aneurysm took her without warning, without mercy. I became a widower, with a 5-year-old who kept asking when Mommy was coming home. I was surviving, but barely. Forgetting permission slips, burning dinners, breaking promises to be on time. Carrying guilt like a second spine. That morning, after dropping Emma at school with a kiss and another promise I prayed I wouldn't break, I drove straight to what felt like my last chance at stability. Pinnacle Marketing Solutions. I arrived 20 minutes late for my interview. The receptionist gave me a look that wasn't judgmental, just human. "Mr. Brooks, Miss Donovan is waiting for you in conference room B." I expected irritation when I opened that door. What I got was understanding. Mia Donovan looked up from her tablet. Dark hair neatly pulled back. Glasses. Calm eyes. No power games. No impatience. "Please, have a seat." I apologized, stumbling over words about my daughter. She stopped me with a raised hand. "No need to explain. I saw on your resume that you're a single parent. Mornings can be complicated." That was the first crack of light in a very dark tunnel. We talked for an hour. About marketing, yes, but also about balance. About humanity. About being present. By the end, something unfamiliar stirred in my chest. Hope. The job was mine, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, my life began to change. I was home for dinner again. I picked Emma up on time. I attended school events. I breathed. And Mia was constant. Supportive. Observant. Kind in ways that didn't feel performative. "Family first, Ethan," she'd say. "The work will still be here tomorrow." I didn't realize it then, but while I was rebuilding myself as a father and professional, Mia was falling in love with me. The signs were everywhere. The coffee she brought me every morning, exactly how I liked it. The way she remembered Emma's achievements. The way she lingered at my office door. The way her smile softened whenever Emma's name came up. "Emma made honor roll again," I mentioned casually one day. Mia's face lit up with pride that didn't make sense for a boss. She's incredible. You must be so proud. I am. She gets that from her mom. A shadow crossed Mia's face, gone almost instantly. You don't give yourself enough credit. Emma is lucky to have you. I missed that too. At her summer barbecue, she'd thought of everything for the kids. Pool toys, mocktails, joy. She looks like you know, she said, watching Emma laugh. Poor kid. No, she said seriously. It's a good smile, the kind that makes people feel safe. I should have seen it then. I didn't. When she asked if I'd ever consider dating again, I heard concern, not longing. When she said, sometimes the right person is already in your life, I heard philosophy, not confession. I was emotionally illiterate, even when she brought soup during the flu, even when flowers appeared on my desk on Valentine's Day, even when she nearly choked on her coffee as I wondered aloud who sent them. And then came the Hendrix pitch. Late nights, pressure, homemade pasta in an empty office. You're brilliant, Ethan. Something shifted that night. For a heartbeat, I almost saw her. Then life interrupted, as it always did. Time passed. I thrived professionally. Personally, I stayed frozen, still wearing my wedding ring, still living in a house full of memories I was afraid to disturb. Until one night, Emma shattered my denial with the brutal honesty only children possess. You smile, Daddy, but sometimes your eyes look sad, except when we're with Ms. Mia. That cracked something open. For the first time, I allowed myself to really look back, to reframe everything. And once you see something, you can't unsee it. The company retreat came at exactly the wrong, or right, time. By the lake, under a silver moon, Mia asked about Emma. About me. She listened the way people do when their heart is already involved. Emma thinks you like me, I said awkwardly, trying to laugh it off. Mia stopped walking. Do you think she's wrong? The question hung between us, heavy and fragile. I realized then how terrified I was, not of loving again, but of losing again, of opening a door I'd nailed shut for survival. Before I could answer, I panicked, changed the subject, ran emotionally like I always did. The next morning, everything unraveled. The boardroom was full, tension high, but disagreement escalated, words sharper than intended. I accused Mia of not trusting my judgment. She stared at me, hurt flashing through composure. You think I don't trust you? She said quietly. Then it broke. I've trusted you with this company, with my team, with my heart, for 3 years. I love you, you idiot. Silence. And in that silence, everything I'd been running from finally caught up to me. I saw her, really saw her. Not as my boss, not as stability, but as a woman who had chosen me, broken, grieving, imperfect me. I took off my wedding ring that night, not because I stopped loving Caroline, but because I finally understood that love doesn't end. It transforms. Months later, Emma walked between us, holding both our hands, laughing. Life didn't become perfect, but it became real again. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that healing doesn't mean forgetting and love doesn't have an expiration date, then let this be your sign. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, sometimes the life you're waiting for is already standing right in front of you. Just waiting for you to finally see it.